ever been trauma bonded to a man, then you know that is one of the most toxic, continuous cycles to ever go through. That constant being drawn back to him, thinking that you love him, that you miss him, you just crave him, feeling like you can't be alone. And it's not saying that you don't love him or any of the type of feelings, but it's just that you're afraid to be alone. This man physically, verbally, emotionally, mentally abused the fuck out of my mind. And yeah, I still stayed a year with him after because I mentally felt like I could not do anything without him. And I'm gonna be honest for my ladies going through this, and as much as you want to stall the situation out and be like, you know what, I'll break up with him tomorrow or next week, stalling it out is only going to make that trauma bond stronger, which is going to make it harder to leave. Because one of two things are gonna happen. You're either going to be forcefully have to absolutely leave the situation from this toxic man, or you're gonna find that support from your friends, from your family, to be able to realize I don't need this man in my life, and have the courage to end the relationship. Honestly, stalling the relationship out not only made me more depressed, but it made me so unhappy to the point where I was just I physically could not do it anymore. I was finally mentally drained to the point where I was I could not do it anymore. And that's why I say open up to friends, families, anybody that you can rely on and trust, and just leave.
I don't think men quite understand what they're doing.
When I was dating pretty consistently in college and I was constantly on dating apps, a pretty common message that I would often receive was, I'm not looking for a relationship right now, but maybe we can see where things go. Your typical start of a situationship. And of course, when we started going on dates, they would start in with the manipulative behaviors in order to get me to attach to them emotionally. The only problem is that my autistic ass took them literally when they said that they only wanted a casual relationship. And so therefore, it was mentally and emotionally impossible for me to develop any deep romantic feelings for whatever guy I was hanging out with. But something very odd began to happen, which is that 99.99999% of the guys that I was hanging out with would either become extremely irritated or fully enraged by the fact that I was not developing feelings for them. And I also wasn't performing any emotional or domestic labor, and I was also still hanging out with other guys if I wanted to. And that was all very confusing for me until I realized that to men, a situationship means that they get to do what they want and you get to do what they want. For a lot of these men, it doesn't matter if they're in a long-term relationship with you, married to you, or the relationship is just casual. Their goal is to extract as much resources they can from you until they are ready to discard of you. And a super easy way of extracting those resources from you is to make you feel as though the relationship or the connection is deeper than it is. If your feelings have gotten involved during a situationship, because it happens to the best of us, the way you protect yourself from their manipulative tactics is by putting a timeline on when you would like the relationship to progress further. And for the love of everything that is holy, once you find out that deadline, you keep that information to yourself. Because if you don't and you tell them, they will ramp up the manipulative tactics to try to keep you attached for longer. Stay safe out there, ladies.